Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, when I first thought about coming to Asia, I didn't really know what I would do here, but I figured I would travel for a little while and then decide that something would turn up. As it happens, before I even moved here, I came in May 2003 for just an exploratory trip. I had only been here in the cool season. That was the hot season. I thought I should find out what the hot season was like before I decided for sure to move. And that was when I came to Laos for the first time. And it was a little different from what Becky's saying now. That was before many people were coming to Laos as tourists. It's changed quite a bit in that respect. It was also the hot season, the low season for tourists. It was the end of SARS, if you remember that, when people just weren't going to travel to Asia at all.
Mm-hmm.
So there were almost no tourists here. I met really just a few. But I still liked it. And I noticed that while I was here, I never ever saw a book in Lao language, never saw a newspaper or magazine in Lao. A few restaurants had a set of English books that they bought from tourists and sold back to tourists, and that was all that I saw. I also met young people who were eager to do something different with their life and had no idea what the choices might be or how to do it or anything, or how to learn the skills that were necessary, certainly no money. And I could see that education, there was room for improvement, and that's when I first got the idea for a publishing project, that I could teach young people some publishing skills, and we could use that to make some books. So I spent 3 years after I went ahead and moved here later in 2003, end of the year, and spent 3 years just pretty much in and out, figuring out if it was even feasible to do this. And meeting people and working with a few people such as Sipon and Kamla to write a few books. And during that time, I helped Sipon start his computer shop. He was somebody who clearly had some drive and motivation, but again, no resources to do anything. And I'd noticed, well, one time I met one of his English teachers and couldn't understand what the person was saying. So that got me thinking that there's a role for that, for teachers to teach the grammar, but it would be real helpful if people could learn English or get some support for English from computer software. Because I had started learning Thai at that point using something called Rosetta Stone, which has an English program too. And that way we could get things like that and get some used computers, and he could have a computer shop and rent out time very cheaply, because there are internet shops in town, but they're much too expensive for students to use. And at that time, nobody had their own computer. Computers were still very new here. Even that's changed. Many students have a laptop. What is this, 5 years later? Many students have a laptop.
Okay, just a minute.